Welcome to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I'm your host, Jackie Hermans. March 4th, we have a by-election taking place for the Durham riding. So we're replacing Aaron O'Toole, and next week, we're going to try to get some more information on the show. So we're aiming to get a guest. So stay tuned about that, but write it in your calendar, March 4th. So today we have a great show. We have Max Coughlin, who is a 23-year-old published author. And we're going to be talking about the book that he's just published. Very exciting. He's super inspirational. And I'll also be giving you some yoga poses for a sore back, or just a way to keep that back open and feeling great, and exercises that you can do right within the workplace, right on your chair. So keep on watching. We'll be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Today, I helped a senior find transportation to an important medical appointment.
Today, I helped a new mom find virtual programming so she didn't feel so isolated.
Today, I helped someone understand new government supports.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
Hi, my name's Scott Dennis, host of the Sports Report here on Rogers TV Durham. Do you love sports? So do I, and we're talking about it anywhere from the Oshawa Generals to college, university to amateur sport. Make sure you tune in here, only on Rogers TV Durham.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So I have Max Coughlin, I was going to say on the line, who is with me in the house. And he's 23 years old, and he is now a published author. Max, it is so great to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
So the name of your book, 100 Ways to Live a More Positive and Beneficial Life. Did I get that right?
You nailed it.
Okay, nailed it. Okay, so I understand you wrote this book because you have gone through a brilliant transformation. So you were going through some internal adversity, you've had some ahas, and it has really changed your life. Mm-hmm. So can we talk about the adversity? I want to see, I want to share this with the audience, because I know there's going to be people who are like, oh, I get that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I feel growing up, like, many young people in today's society, I never really felt fully confident in myself. I was someone that was maybe a bit more of an outcast. I struggled to make friends and things of that nature kind of going throughout school. Over time, things slowly got better. I started becoming, more confident in my abilities, started thriving, academically and athletically. And then actually, when I started university, I had a freak accident happen to me where I actually, fell quite a distance, and I actually snapped my foot in a really bad freak injury. And, when that happened, I remember sitting on the hospital bed, and I was thinking about, my life and some of the challenges that I had gone through and how things had got better over time. And that's kind of how the idea of the book, 100 Ways to a More Positive and Beneficial Life, began. And, it was there in the hospital on that day. I started kind of jotting down 100 different ideas that obviously got revised over time. And they're kind of 100 different lessons that I think are universally applicable that I want to share with the world and, people that might be going through similar situations so they can thrive in spite of the challenges they're facing.
Nice. Yeah. How long was that healing process for your foot?
Yeah, so it was actually, the doctor told me, the worst ankle fracture that she ever saw. So it wasn't even a broken foot, but I was in a cast for about 6 months. And usually I think the regular recovery period is something like 3 to 4 weeks. So it was
right,
definitely
when you have just a regular break. Yeah, so it would have been really impactful. So not only so physically impactful on your body, but the emotions that would have come up and the things that it was stopping you from doing. Like it gave you an opportunity to look internally. So when you wrote this book, like, would you say, high school to university age is a good market that can relate to your book?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's definitely kind of the main target demographic that I have. And, I think that being a younger author, a lot of times, people that are maybe, 50s, 60s with PhDs, they can't really resonate with kind of some of the struggles that people my generation are going through. So that was kind of almost the lens that I approached this book was, I kind of have a unique experience where I kind of understand people my age and some of the people in the younger generation. Yeah. So what are some of the lessons and kind of, things that I can be able to teach and advice that I can give that can directly impact people that are going through a similar situation such as myself? Yeah,
I know I haven't read your book yet, but I'm sure there will be all ages that will be able to resonate with it on some level, because hey, I'm 53 years old and I've had my own internal struggles from when I was a teen, but even younger than that, moving up, right?
Yeah.
We can all have our own insecurities about not being enough and what are we actually worthy of and things like that. So I feel like as we get older, we go through these different layers of healing. So did you find when you were writing the book, it was cathartic in some way? Like you went through additional healing through that writing process?
Yeah, absolutely. Like as you said earlier, it was quite a long healing process. So, when I was at school, my friends were all going out doing their thing. I was mostly bedridden, right? So I had a lot of time to kind of reflect and kind of go over. And as I was writing the book, as a young man and, even the last few years, some of those ideas have kind of changed throughout the process. And that's what I think was so awesome about writing the book is not only was I kind of writing lessons almost for my younger self, but kind of some of my ideas and thought processes and kind of how I navigate life, they also changed throughout the process. So that was what was really important for me throughout the healing process and what ultimately brought me here today.
That's beautiful. I have goosebumps now, actually. I think that is absolutely amazing. And for you to have the courage to put it out into the world, it's like, I've had these life lessons, and it doesn't matter your age. You can have brilliant ahas that can impact. You can be so surprised as to how you just saying a simple sentence to someone in passing can actually impact them even years down the road, right?
Absolutely.
And for you writing this book, you're impacting not just one, like so many. So congratulations on the courage that it's taken.
Yeah, thank you.
So when we come back, I want to get into about whether you were an aspiring author in the first place before this happened. We're going to go into that, and we're going to go into what has this process been for you in order to get it published, and then how other people can get involved and how they can get your book. We have still so much more to talk about. So we'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
Wonder what stood right behind me 150 years ago? Here in Pickering, at the northwest side of Brocken Highway 7, stood the Brome Central Hotel. Today, this historic commercial enterprise is housed here at the Pickering Museum Village. Originally a home, this two-story building became a temperance hotel in 1850.
We've prepared your usual private room.
Hey, thank you. I'm sure I'll sleep soundly tonight.
It was a resting place for travelers, and for 2 shillings and 6 pence, it also served as a meeting place for local council.
Ladies, the Township Council will be meeting very soon. We should retire.
Located at the epicenter of the township, the hotel was witness to a lot of the laws and infrastructure decisions that made Pickering what it is today.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So I have author Max Coughlin in the house, and we're talking about his book that he's just published called 100 Ways to Live a More Positive and Beneficial Life. I got it right too?
That's it.
Yes, okay, good. So I want to talk about, have you always been, had this inner desire of writing a book and becoming an author?
Yeah, so not exactly, and I think that's what was cool kind of throughout the process. You know, when I think back to when I was a younger kid, I was always, the type of person on the weekends watching the Shark Tanks, the Dragon Dens of the world, looking up to the Kevin O'Learys and Arlene Dickinsons and things like that. So I feel not so much an author, but I've always had a very entrepreneurial mind, and that was kind of even some of the clubs I did throughout high school and things like that. And that's kind of why I was so excited to write the book was, obviously the writing process took a long time, but now it's kind of the fun part where I'm able to market the book and I'm able to kind of have the sales aspect and be able to really connect with people. So no, not always really wanting to be an author, but here I am.
Yeah, congratulations on that. So actually thinking about, because I've been doing writing for years, and I even have a full-on book, and I just haven't even done those last stages. And I find those last stages can be really scary, especially if you don't have the financial backing to be able to make it happen.
Yeah.
So how did you make it happen?
Yeah, you know what? I think that a lot of times when you're doing new things in life, there isn't necessarily a roadmap, right? And, especially for someone my age, I didn't know how to write a book. I kind of just did it, right? So sometimes you just have to take the first step, and, you're going to figure out things along the way. There's going to be new things, but just being able to embrace the change and taking it one step at a time, you're able to, end up being able to conquer a lot of ground in a year, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, how did you get it to the actual publishing side of things? I understand you had a unique way of doing it.
Yeah. So I wrote the book, and once I was done writing the book, I went over and edited it once myself, edited it twice myself. I had some of my friends that were, nice enough to be able to kind of look over the manuscript, which they did for me. And then at that point, I worked with a self-publishing company, Friesen Press, based out of Vancouver, and they're kind of helped me with, go through it with more of a fine-tooth comb in terms of going through the manuscript. Obviously, helping me with the front cover and design, which I think looks awesome with the people climbing the mountain. And then I was able to eventually do a Kickstarter for it, which is what I'm doing now for the crowdfunding campaign.
And can you explain what a Kickstarter is?
Yeah, so a Kickstarter is essentially, usually people will use it more for products-based thing, but it's essentially a crowdfunding website where if people have a different initiative, say it be a physical product, a book, things like that, they can raise different funds, and once the pledge goal is reached, which I set mine for $1,000 and I've already been able to hit that, then the project will go live, and then all of the backers who supported the project, they'll then be able to get, in my case, the book.
Oh, okay, very cool. So that helped you to be able to get X number of books printed because of all the money that you raised for it.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Okay, that's great. So do you have plans for another book?
You know
Is
what?
that too soon?
I think it is too soon, considering we're still in the process of doing this
totally.
one. But you know what? I feel I've learned so much throughout this process of writing this first book. I don't know if it's something that might happen next year, but I think throughout my life, it's definitely something that I want to take another look at doing for sure.
As you learn more things, and being an entrepreneur, it's that entrepreneurial drive has such creativity behind it, right? So. Who knows? You might end up having a whole personal development series.
Yeah, there we go.
Right?
I like it.
Now, I understand that you're also an avid reader of personal development books.
For sure.
Any particular authors that you're like, oh yeah, I really resonate with that and that?
Well, I think that growing up, someone that really resonated with me was Jordan Peterson and his book, 12 Rules for Life. I think that he has a lot of different wisdom in there about, teaching you kind of how to navigate the world. And, one of the things he talks about is the difference between chaos and order. And I think that, especially after COVID and stuff, there's a lot of chaos in the world and a lot of people struggling, and, being able to kind of, orient yourself and direct yourself towards being a better person, I think it was instrumental in my growth.
Nice. Okay, so this whole process of writing this book, do you feel it's changed you as a person?
Oh, absolutely. I feel I've learned so many different lessons along the way, and even going throughout the writing process, I think a lot of times we have ideas and thoughts in our head, but the act of physically writing I found was very important for me, and going back and being able to analyze the different words and the thought processes and being able to see how that changed over time. I think that taught me a lot about myself.
Yeah, oh, that's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So if people want to be able to get your book, where are they going to go? How can they even get involved? Maybe help even support you, get the word out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think by the time this goes live, the Kickstarter campaign will have concluded. So
Okay.
at that point, the best bet is it's going to be on Amazon. So you're going to want to search up the title, 100 Ways to Live a More Positive and Beneficial Life. Max Coughlin. It should be on Amazon as well as Barnes & Noble if you're in the US, chapters potentially. So search me online, reach out to me on Instagram, my name, Max Coughlin, or you can email me at max.coughlin@outlook.com and be in touch that way. I'd love to have your support on the journey.
Okay, and your Instagram handle, is that Max Coughlin?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Max with 2 X's.
Max, okay, I love the uniqueness of that.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, I just want big high 10 for what you've been able to accomplish. Yeah, I think you're really inspirational and you're going to inspire so many kids out there, not kids, young adults, me. So anyways, well done. We'll be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Karim Grant. I'm the host of The Players Corner. Season 2 is coming right at you. Make sure you stay tuned. We have a lot of exciting guests right here on Rogers Durham TV. Make sure you're there.
Hi, my name's Scott Dennis, host of the Sports Report here on Rogers TV Durham. Do you love sports? So do I, and we're talking about it anywhere from the Oshawa Generals to college, university to amateur sport. Make sure you tune in here, only on Rogers TV Durham.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. It's time for a yoga segment. So I am a yoga instructor, and I thought I would provide some poses that you can do right within the workplace. You can do it obviously at home, and maybe your workplace is at home. So all you need is a chair. If it is possible to have a straight back chair, that would be great. If in the workplace you have one of those wheelie chairs, just make sure that your brakes are on. You might need to adapt some poses depending if you have some arm handles at the side. So just work with it as it's going to work for you with the resources that you currently have. So sitting up nice and tall, you can do this with me. I might end up just doing one side because of time-wise, but then you can move over to the other side. So let's see how this flows. So you can sit feet shoulder width apart, feet flat on the ground. If you're wearing shoes, that's fine. If you're wearing heels, I recommend taking them off. Sitting nice and tall. So we're going to start with a cat-cow. It's a nice way to start warming up the spine. So you can have your hands on your knees. Then we're going to start with a seated cow pose. So you're going to breathe in. You're going to push your heart forward and up. So with a little bit of an arc in your back. Your chin is just slightly raised. And your feet, you're drawing those shoulder blades together. And then you can round your spine, push the back of your heart towards the ceiling. You're bringing your belly button in. Your shoulders are pushing forward as the back of your heart is pushing back. Now you can work with your breath as you go between the different poses. So if you wish, you could breathe in, chest up, and you're in your cow, and then breathe out to cat. Breathe into cow. You can do this slower or faster wherever you're at today. Breathe out to cat. So you can do that several times. Right now we can breathe in and come back to a neutral spine. Okay, so now we're going to take our hands together. You can interlace them. Push those hands forward, round that spine again. and you're pushing the back of your heart towards the wall behind you as those hands are reaching forward, and you can feel a stretch in your shoulders as well. And then we're going to do an opposing stretch here. So you can either place your hands behind your back as if you were sticking your hands in your pockets and draw your elbows back together while you open your heart. Or if your shoulder flexibility is there, you can grab on to opposite elbow. So you're going to open up that chest. Think about having a nice long spine, tall neck, and do some nice deep breaths. And if it feels okay, breathing in and out through your nose. Good. Okay, you can release that. You can do that longer if you wish. We're going to get a nice spinal twist in now. So you're going to take your left hand and place it across your right thigh. Right arm can go behind the chair, behind the back of the chair. Looking over your right shoulder, I want you to do some nice deep breaths in and out through your nose. Thinking nice tall spine. Every deep breath in, think about creating more space, and every breath out, thinking about moving more into that space that you've created. And then you would go to the other side. We can do that briefly. You can do it longer if you wish. So looking over that left shoulder, deep breath in. Long breath out, moving into that new space. Again, breath in. Breath out. Good. Coming back to center. Okay, we're going to take the right leg, cross it over the left. Now, you might not be able to get exactly to this position. It might be more like this. You might even have your foot at the side of your calf, just as long as you're not pushing into the knee. So wherever you're at, you want to try to have a flex foot sitting up straight, aiming to have both bum cheeks secure on your chair. If you want, you can push gently, not on the knee again, but gently bringing this thigh more down. Sitting up nice and tall, hinging at the hips. Breathe in, breathe out, hinge forward. You might only feel like, well, maybe I'm going a half an inch forward, or maybe you can go a lot deeper. Wherever you're at, it's perfect. Just embrace where your body is at today. You might find one hip is stiffer or more open than the other hip. So nice deep breaths. You can have your eyes open or closed. Okay, so breathing in and out. Good. So you would go to the other side. I'm going to move on so you can get a few more poses in here. So I want you to straighten that leg out in front. You can hold it under your thigh or hold it here. If this is too much to be doing in the workplace, you're going to feel awkward doing this in the workplace. You can also move to the edge of your chair, have the leg forward, and lean forward like this. Breathing into the back of that hamstring. When you open up those hamstrings, it can really help for you to open up your lower back as well. So think about that. There's other ones that we can do. Maybe we can save those for another episode. You can check out my website, thejoyfulyogini.ca, and you can come to a class that works for you. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
With clubs, leagues, and courts in every province and territory across Canada, squash is the sport for wall-to-wall fun, fitness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast. Learn to play and you'll want to do it every day. Squash. Play inside the box.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Karim Grant. I'm the host of the Players Corner. Season 2 is coming right at you. Make sure you stay tuned. We have a lot of exciting guests right here on Rogers Durham TV. Make sure you're there.
I'm Deborah Hutchison, host of Talk Politics. Join us as we speak with your elected officials at the municipal, provincial, and federal levels about the issues that matter to you most. That's Talk Politics right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So at the end of the show, I like to pull some cards, or maybe a single card, just to for some inspiration and to assist us with the energy of the week. So this week I am using my Healing with the Angels cards, and we're going to see what message or messages want to come through. And if you're interested in booking, there's two cards that want to come out. If you're interested in booking a one-on-one healing session and psychic reading with me, you can check out my website, thejoyfulyogini.ca. So two cards came out. The first card is Harmony. This is a new phase, so you can think about this whole week that this is airing. This is a new phase of harmony that's coming into your life. You've been going through some stuff that's been coming up over the past little while, and you're in a new phase of embracing where you're at. And I think it feels like there's been a shifting and a realignment within your life. The second card is Abundance. Boop, boop. Okay, that's awesome. So you are also, with this newfound harmony within your life, you are drawing in more abundance into your life. And this can happen in various areas of your life. It can be financial, absolutely. Because it can also be more abundance in joy, in love, in opportunities, in resources coming your way. So we can be in gratitude for this, and the more in gratitude we are, the more continued alignment, and then the more continued abundance that will keep on flowing. So again, that's thejoyfulyogini.ca if you're interested in a one-on-one session. I also do psychic parties. So as a reminder, that by-election is happening on March the 4th, and we are trying to get someone to come in to be able to talk about this more. It is, this whole by-election is about replacing Aaron O'Toole. And so if you're interested in being on the show, you can send us an email. It is uxbridgescugog@rci.rogers.com. And, maybe there's an event that you want to promote. Maybe you have a business that you want to promote. Maybe, you want to be on the show to share some wisdom, whatever it is, you can send us an email and we can talk about getting you on the show. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life. Bye.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Ani, I'm Carolyn King, and I'm a member of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and the creator of the Moccasin Identifier. Philip Cote, an artist in Toronto here, took and redrew real moccasins. We're starting over with the children. The idea is that they would research whose land their school is built on, near, or what treaty area they're in. And the educational kit that we have has all that information in there.